Identified. Senator Hume.
Thank you, Deputy President. I'm absolutely gobsmacked at the extraordinary hypocrisy of the Labor Party, weeping hot tears of grief on a free trade agreement after 5 free trade agreements have already been negotiated by the coalition, 2 of which I vaguely remember, the Labor Party actually tried to scuttle the China free trade agreement and the TPP. Tried to scuttle, and yet now they come in here bleating about an Indonesia free trade agreement. I'll tell you, I agree with Senator Wong on one thing. She is absolutely right when she says that the partnership between Australia and Indonesia is one of our nation's most significant. She is right, because Indonesia is one of the fastest-growing economies in the world, and it presents significant, profound opportunities for Australia as the demand grows for our goods and our services, and particularly our produce. It has a rapidly growing consumer base, and it's projected to be the world's 4th largest economy by 2050, the 4th largest economy in the world by 2050. By bolstering the economic ties between our nations, it will lead to even greater opportunities for Australian businesses, for Australian manufacturers, for Australian farmers. Our extensive relationship with Indonesia is both mature, it is strong, it sustains constructive dialogue on all issues of common interest, and it is steeped in the history of both our nations. And you know what? Prime Minister Morrison, who is talking about an Indonesia free trade agreement as we sit here today, is just the right man to do it. He is just the right man to do it. We can rely on Prime Minister Morrison to make the right deals when we're crossing the I's and dotting the T's, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. As Senator Cormann mentioned, when we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's on this free trade agreement, he is the right man to be doing it. He's a man that we have trusted with the most important decisions of this government for the last 5 years. If you think about it, when the coalition came to office, it was Minister Morrison. At that stage, he was the Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. He was the man that stopped the boats. He was the man that turned them around and sent them back. He was the man that has shut down 18 detention centres in the last 5 years. He was the man that did that. When he was the Minister for Human Services or Minister for Social Services, he was the one that has reduced our welfare dependency to its lowest rate in 25 years. And of course, as Treasurer, his track record speaks for itself. We now have economic growth of 3.4%. That's at the top of the OECD league ladders. It is the envy of the developed world. We have created more than 1.2 million jobs in the last 5 years alone. 1.2 million in 5 years. 89,000 was what the Labor Party created in their last year of government. 89,000 compared to 1.2 million new jobs. Around 400,000 in the last 12 months. The vast majority of those full-time, the vast majority of them went to women. In fact, female participation rate is at higher levels than it has ever been before. Youth unemployment is down to low levels, lowest levels in 25 years. We've maintained our AAA credit rating from not 1, not 2, but 3 credit rating agencies. And of course, the budget is on its way back to balance 1 year earlier than anticipated. That's what good fiscal management will deliver. And good fiscal management pays political dividends because people want an environment. They want an economy that is creating jobs. They want an economy that's growing, and they trust Prime Minister Morrison to deliver it in the same way that they've trusted Prime Minister Morrison to negotiate the finer points of an Indonesian free trade agreement. Which is part of our growth strategy for the Australian economy. As I said, it's the 6th free trade agreement that we have negotiated in just 5 years. You think about it. The China free trade agreement was a game-changing, a transformative agreement for the Australian economy. China, Japan, South Korea, the TPP. Of course, we can hardly forget the TPP. We nearly didn't get that through. That was only in the last couple of weeks. Now Peru and finally Indonesia in just 5 years. That's how we create the opportunities for Australian businesses. That's how we assure our economy stays strong. That's how we can ensure that there are jobs and growth.
Thank you, Senator Hume. Your
for
time
future
has
generations.
expired.